The United States just invaded Venezuela and captured the current president, Nicolas Maduro, and his wife, Celia. Welcome to 2026, where some crazy news just happened into the first few days of the new year. Here's the photo of Maduro's capture, and honestly, this photo looks like one of the hardest album covers if anyone decides to use it. Just throw on a little grainy filter onto it, and bang, we have a certified platinum cover. But in all seriousness, this news is insane. I literally went to bed on a Friday night and then woke up the next morning to scroll my phone just to see that we had decided to pull this operation while no one had any clue what was going on. Although we had been hearing news about Maduro beefing with the United States throughout 2025, I didn't really think anything would happen from it. But boy, was I wrong. These are one of the situations you are in where you don't know whether it's going to be a big deal until the thing actually happens. It turns out the United States is charging Maduro and his wife Celia with the narco-terrorism conspiracy in which Maduro partnered with Colombian rebels to bring cocaine to the US in order to fund the Venezuelan regime he is running. Maduro has been accused of running a narco state through certain crime networks like the Cartel de los Soles, which means Cartel of the Suns. This group was named a terrorist entity by the United States sometime in November 2025, and this was a big part of his reason for his capture. But as to any story, there's a bit more to it. Venezuela doesn't only have a dictator problem or a crime problem, it has another problem. Venezuela has one of the largest oil reserves in the world, and this is music to the United States ears. Wherever there's oil, you'll find the good old USA.
Knock, knock, motherfucker. It's the United States of America, and I hear you guys got oil that isn't under my possession. So turn off the stove and return the oil to me before I have to resort to bringing democracy.
With Maduro out, Trump stated the United States will now be operating the country for the time being and will be in charge of the oil.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years.
The one thing I love about this whole situation is watching how different people are reacting to it. On one side, we have people that don't even live in Venezuela having an opinion on this and saying it's a terrible decision and that US should not have done this. While on the other side, we have tons of Venezuelans cheering that Maduro was captured and has been removed from his dictatorial power. There have been tons of videos pouring out on the internet of Venezuelans cheering in the streets in other countries.
Venezuela. ¿Listo? Vamos, vamos.
But then we have the other side where people are stating this is an overreach of the United States' power and a show of modern day imperialism.
I'm here because I think it's outrageous what the U.S. government did in Venezuela. Whatever you may think of the Maduro government, that's not the issue. But the U.S. government has no right to go into a sovereign country and basically openly say, we're going to take the oil, we're going to take the gold, we're going to exploit the resource.
Opinions have been shared. There has been one thing sitting on my mind. How are the rest of the world's superpowers going to react to this event? Will this be an event that kicks off more invasions of other countries and lead to some World War type event? After some scrolling, I found an interesting Instagram reel here where someone actually predicted that this would happen to Venezuela and the reasoning behind the capture of Maduro. And for this section, we're going to have to put our tinfoil hats on because this rabbit hole is going to go deep. Let's take a look at a video made by Keith Goldsby, a veteran and now political commentator that covers topics on his Instagram and his TikTok. Keith recorded this video back in December 11th and predicted what was going to happen. And honestly, looking at this video back then, you would think this guy might be a little bit crazy, but oh boy, did he turn out to be right.
Trump is moving to take Venezuela because we are about to lose economic activity from Taiwan due to a Chinese invasion. The Telegraph is reporting from a top secret document that the U.S. military has assessed that it would be destroyed if a confrontation happened between Washington and Beijing over Taiwan. The document points to over-reliance on Chinese goods, along with their hypersonic missiles that can destroy aircraft carriers within minutes. which leads into what we are doing into Venezuela. In Taiwan, we have economic activity at about $130 billion per year because of chips, AI, and other things. At a modest recovery at $60 a barrel, Venezuela could output $190 billion per year.
I'm not sure what top secret document he's talking about, but it's still interesting what he is saying. If China was to take Taiwan, then we would lose out on some economic activity through the trade with this country, which key states would be about 130 billion. And in order to offset this loss, the US would be taking over Venezuela, which could produce and sell oil at around 190 billion, which would offset this loss with the trade with Taiwan. The big reason behind this is for the USA to prepare in order to survive economically in the future. But let me make a proposition on how we can survive. Let's send 100 more billion to Israel.
It is now clear and obvious to me. China is about to make a move on Taiwan, and we are taking Venezuela because we would not be able to economically survive without the output from that oil. This is why the president and the government is not making a case to Congress. It would induce a panic. It's the only reason why we have 25% of all of our forces right off the coast of Venezuela, currently in a pre-World War.
In all honesty, I'm not sure how accurate this guy's statements are, but I would be super interested to see if this plays out the way he says it will. It will be interesting to see what happens in the next few months of 2026 and if this is going to be a pre-World War event. But I would be super interested in hearing what you guys think about this situation, and do you think we're on the brink of World War III? Let me know in the comments below. And if you liked my video, make sure to hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to see more content from me. See you next time.